Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Gotlegs. I actually don't think that I've mentioned this before, but this year I'm actually doing something that I haven't done for maybe 4, 5, 6 years maybe, and that is to race. So a couple of months ago I actually applied for the license to go out race, and I've since signed up for some races, and tomorrow will be the first race of the season and the first race for me in quite a while. It's quite a simple race. It will be 8 laps out on the airstrip, which is around 42 kilometers in total. So around an hour's worth of racing. So far it looks like that will be about 33 at the start. So that's quite good for me. In the beginning, they were actually talking about having us ride with another group that had more than 50 people that had signed up for that. So that would have been quite scary to say the least, but fortunately they decided to split up the two groups, so I'll be riding in my own category and the other category will ride for themselves. I will be riding my Elf's bike behind me. This video will be about how I prepare for a race. Today it's Friday, we will be riding Saturday. So I'm about to head out on the bike and do like a leg opener exercise of about an hour's time. And also make sure that the bike is as it should be. So the bike just got back from Hurtig. They had the fork cut down, so there's not a lot of sticking up here. Also I had some play in the front end, so they fixed that. It was apparently the front brake that had a bit of a alignment issue, so that's been fixed. I've attached the not so pretty chip that we use for the races, so I have all the lap times down and all that, and make sure that when I cross the line I'm actually registered. Also got the race number holder on. It's not ideal, but it works. I actually was in talk with the store that I bought it from. It showed them pictures of how the bike looked and all that, and said this will work perfectly, but it's not really pretty, not really flush or anything, but it is what it is. And also Hurtig fitted the GP 5000S tires, so no more Cinturato. So this is looking much more race-like. So time to get kitted up and head out on the bike and just do some simple intervals.
Windows are open, my dirty sea.
So the ride's over. I did around 40 minutes. I did 2 progressive intervals of 3 minutes each, starting from high zone 2, going up to about threshold, then with 2 minutes recovery in it. And then I did a set of 6 times 30-30, basically going about 80% of full gas for those. And then basically just riding home. Normally I would ride about an hour, but it started raining a bit and I didn't want to be caught in the rain today. Got back home, washed the bike, so it's as good as it gets for tomorrow. Just need to put on some chain loop, and then I'm heading off to bed. That's the end of the first day. I had a pretty good dinner. I ate some pasta with some pesto and some chicken to it, and basically just managed to fuel up, get some carbs in, and also get plenty of fluid in. Tomorrow on race day, I'll do the last preps for it. That meaning finding the kit I need to use. That's easy because I can only ride in one kit. Unfortunately, I had ordered a skin suit from our supplier, but it hasn't arrived yet. So I have to use an old kit with some outdated sponsors, but not really my fault because they weren't able to ship it off for me in time. So I actually ordered it back in December, and it should have arrived, but it hasn't. So I'll shut it down for now, and I'll be back tomorrow. Back from the race. I'll do a bigger update later. Went great. Fast race. Felt okay and basically just sat in the bunch all the way through. Tried to get in 1 or 2 breakaways, but didn't last. And then just decided to be in the pack. Last 2.5 kilometers, I got a cramp in my hamstring, and that was a bit annoying, and that kind of affected my sprint. But I got 19th, so happy with that result, and we'll be back with some more info. So a couple of days have passed since the race, and I've had some time to reflect on how it went and my own effort into it. Didn't have the best preparation for the race as I had trouble falling asleep the day before. So I actually didn't get that much sleep that I actually had wanted to get. And also I woke up with a very low recovery score on my whoop. And I think that has to do with the fact that it's been a while since I've had my last race. And instead of being able to fall asleep just right away as I normally do, I actually was lying in bed and visualizing the race instead. And when that happens for me, I usually get some adrenaline flowing through the body. So I guess my adrenaline was a bit too high, making it difficult for me to fall asleep, and also making sure that my HRV throughout the night was actually not that good. So not the best preparation for the race, but I still managed to get a decent recovery score and went out to the race. Got the warm-up in, everything, and as you saw in the footage, I was hanging with the bunch. So I actually had a strategy of not going on the attack from the beginning, or not even attacking throughout the race, because it's just a short race. It was the first race of the season, so my initial thought was that no breakaway would get away today. And still out of the gate, I kind of attacked, because just to push and I was in the front of the start line and was able to just push from the get-go. So just to string out things a bit and yeah, just do that. There was a lot of attacks throughout the different laps. Everything got shut down. Then we went out on the second lap and I saw my teammate do an attack, and I was actually milliseconds from going with him, because I was thinking this would be a good time to attack. And then I had another thought that it was still too early. It was an 8-lap race, so lap 2 already on the attack. I didn't think they would make it. Things are that they actually lasted all the way home. He and another guy got away. There were some different attacks later on, and some of the attacks actually bridged the gap up to them, but they actually lasted all the way. So for the other laps, no one really got away. There was a lot of attacks, and I got in one, and then when I had taken my turn, nobody really surpassed me. So nobody came up and was following me. So that kind of died right there. On one side of the course, we had like well, it wasn't really a crosswind, it was more like a headwind, and that was also leading up to the finishing straight. So on that straight we had a headwind, and on the other we had a tailwind. So we were going really fast with the tailwind and a bit slower with the headwind, and it was just difficult to get away, to say the least, and everything pretty much got shut down. Because the wind was as it was, I decided not to put that much effort into being at the front of the peloton, because every time we hit the longer straights where we had a tail or a headwind, the peloton was basically so wide that you got so much draft from just sitting at the rear. So normally I would say that I had to be in the middle or the first part of the pack, but there was really no need for it, and it was easy to get up ahead anyway. So I just decided to stay back and keep in the rear and just let the other ones do the pulling and all that. And it was easy to see every time that a breakaway got away, they would accelerate. I could anticipate that, and then you can see when they got caught that everything got shut down and I could just freewheel again. So the last lap, I was sitting in the bunch, had pretty good feeling in my legs, so I wasn't too tired. And then with around 2 or 3 kilometers to go, I just got a cramp in my hamstrings. Just like a tennis ball cramp in the back of my thigh. And it was just before I had to head into a left-hand turn. So I was struggling a bit with that because I couldn't have my pedal up on the left side because that would have my leg flexed and activating the cramp. And I couldn't really have my leg down either because I was leaning into that corner, so my foot would touch the ground. So I was struggling with that, lost a lot of the places in the bunch. Got it somewhat under control in the last 2 kilometers. But when the sprint was open, I was on the left-hand side where the wind was coming from. So it was a headwind, but also a bit of a crosswind, but not too much. But I was basically not drafting that much and instead just taking in all the wind instead. But I managed to do a sprint, but was just far too behind and really didn't gain that much advantage. I think I was probably in the back of the peloton when I opened the sprint, and I think we were 33 that completed the race, and it ended up 19. So at least I had some people that I got past, but it wasn't enough to do like a really great result. So what are my thoughts about this race? Well, it was great being back in the peloton again. I was very nervous. I was very excited to be riding in a race again. I didn't have any crashes. I didn't have any mechanicals. So all in all, I was pretty satisfied with it. I stayed within the bunch and didn't have too much trouble with it. But I need to focus on the placement in the bunch. So I'm not always constantly riding in the rear. It's basically the easiest place to be because you really don't have to think that much. But when the more difficult races will be coming, I need to be able to stay more to the front of the bunch. Also, before the start, I just looked around at the other guys and was thinking that I'm a 38-year-old dad of 2, and a lot of these guys are in the beginning of the 20s, and we're just not the same. And I was really thinking what the hell I was doing there. But all the guys were great. They were really racing hard, and it was just, yeah, fun to be back in the bunch. And just to give you some stats from the race, it was 41.1 kilometers long. We did it in 58.33 minutes, giving an average speed of 42.1 kilometers an hour. I burned off 852 calories within that race. And now the really interesting thing is that my power output, my average power output was 217 watts. Now, if I look at my normalized power, it's 297 watts. So that is exactly 80 watts higher. So my normalized power is 80 watts higher. Basically, that means that it was a really stop and go kind of race. And that makes perfectly sense when you're actually doing a criterium style race that's so short in the distance. My max power output was 1233 watts, and my max speed was 58 kilometers an hour. It was a great race, and we definitely will be doing other races this season. So that's it for me for now, guys. I will be making a video of how the bike is treating me right now, the Elves Verlaat Evo that I've had the chance of riding for the past couple of months now. And also now I've given it some experience, gained some experience from racing, and will definitely share that with you. Overall, pretty happy with the bike. So that's it for me for now, guys. Thanks for watching and thanks for tuning in once again. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, watch the other videos, and until next time, bye.